Good morning. I'm Kate Wendell, Senior Director of Product here at Collibra. Over the last 12 months, almost every customer conversation we've had have come back to the same issue. AI is deploying faster than the controls around it. We hear this from CDOs, from CIOs, from heads of AI. They all describe the same gap. The technology is moving into production, but the governance hasn't kept pace. And the data tells us the same story. In our latest Harris poll, more than half of decision makers still say they're manually correcting AI outputs every single day. We're past experimentation. AI is operational across the enterprise, but the visibility, the controls, the accountability around it haven't followed. And that gap is where risk lives. That's the problem we set out to solve. So let me walk you through what we've built. This month, we launched the new AI Command Center. It rests on 3 pillars. First, the ability to control your AI from day one. Shadow AI is a real and growing risk. Models, agents, use cases are being spun up across your business by your data engineering team, by engineers, even by your vendors. And most of that is invisible to the governance function. And you simply cannot govern what you cannot see. So the Collibra AI Command Center makes it possible that the moment anyone deploys a model, ships an agent, or stands up an AI-powered workflow, we capture it automatically and bring that into a unified registry. One source of truth for every AI initiative in your organization. No intake forms, no friction for your team. Governance is built into where the work happens, and suddenly, compliance isn't a battle, it's just how things get done. Second, you need to ship AI you can defend. This means that you have a single trusted source for readiness, risk, and compliance so leaders can greenlight AI with confidence and not guesswork. Third, take the pulse of your AI. This means today you have business signal and governance signals in completely disparate systems. And we need to bring those together to have that operational insight so leaders can act in real time on business metrics. Let's take a look at the AI Command Center in action. First, you'll see how we capture the AI the moment it gets deployed. On the screen, you're looking at a standard developer environment. Just one command from the CLI, and Collibra automatically captures what's being deployed. The model, the version, the dependencies, all the metadata needed to document what's being deployed. This is how governance shifts left into the tools developers already use. Instead of asking teams to document their work and chasing people down with all that manual follow-up, this means that from the very first commit, you have full traceability. No forms, no back and forth, no lost context. Just a simple CLI experience that makes AI governance part of the way AI gets built. And once you have those AI systems captured directly from the development workflows, all that context flows into one place, giving you visibility across your entire AI landscape. Within the AI Command Center, the unified registry is a single place to inventory and oversee every AI system in your organization. Models, agents, use cases, regardless of where they were built. Layered on top of that is the AI Trust Score, a continuous signal configurable to your own standards that tells you exactly how each system is performing. As models evolve, data changes, or policies are applied, the score updates automatically. Issues surface early before they become problems. One registry, one trust signal, a clearer way to manage AI at scale. So once you know what AI systems you have and how they're performing, the last piece is turning all of that signal into leadership signal you can act on. So here's what this looks like. Collibra's AI Command Center transforms governance signals, registry data, trust scores, life cycle status, and risk indicators into a clear operational picture for every team managing AI at scale. This shows you which use cases do we have, which ones are in development, what teams are responsible for those, what agents are being deployed or being proposed, which use cases have the highest risk. And what models are we building on? And how widely? Everything is visible in one operational layer. The dashboard metrics help leaders cut through the noise, surface the highest priority, highest risk things so your teams know exactly where to focus and what to act on first. You can track trust trends across models, agents, use cases, all from a single view. This lets you drill into your use cases in development and understand where you're exposed to compliance problems. Then, identify your highest risk use cases and understand the safeguards that need to be in place. Instead of manually assembling these reports across disconnected systems, teams get continuous visibility into how AI is evolving across the organization. Leaders can move from static reporting into active oversight. This is the layer that helps organizations scale AI with more visibility, better prioritization, and greater confidence. Let's bring this all back together. It starts with controlling your AI from day one. Every use case, model, agent captured directly from development. No forms, no friction, no blind spots. Then, ship your AI that you can defend. A single trusted registry for AI inventory and oversight with a continuous signal configurable to your own standards. Third, keep a pulse on your AI with this interactive dashboard that turns governance signals into operational insights so you can act in real time. So we've covered how to govern the AI system themselves, but there's another side to it. This is the data the systems run on, because an AI agent is only as good as the context it has. And if the underlying data is incomplete, outdated, or out of scope, your agent will hallucinate, waste cycles on irrelevant data, or worse, access data it shouldn't. This is where data products come in, not as a governance exercise, but the mechanism that ensures every agent has accurate, efficient, and compliant access to exactly the data it needs. Let me show you what that looks like. So we'll start by asking Claude a pretty straightforward business question, right? How can I find the distribution of our customer base across each customer segment? Now watch what happens under the hood. Instead of guessing, Claude uses Collibra's MCP server to pull governed metadata from our data products. It knows where the right data lives, how the segments are defined in your business glossary, and how to calculate that metric correctly. The result is the exact query to run pointed at the actual source of truth, not hallucinated definitions or the wrong table or wasted tokens on irrelevant data. This is what it means to give your agents context. You don't need a smarter model. You need better information at the source. The agent isn't inventing what a customer segment means or approximating how to calculate lifetime value. It knows because Collibra's data products have told it, right? Therefore, I can prompt this question and confidently stand behind the answer because the data powering it has been curated, certified, and governed. That's the difference that data products make for AI. Now, that demo only works because Collibra knew exactly what customer segment meant. And how does it know that? That's the power of the semantic layer, and this is how we build it. Collibra automatically scans your tables and columns and maps them to the data attribute asset, which is a centrally defined definition that's applied everywhere. And even if you're building from the ground up, Collibra has you covered. You can generate that semantic layer automatically from your existing catalog and glossaries. And you'll see an example of that here. Once your data has that business meaning attached to it, the next step is packaging it for use. That's what data products do. It takes your technical metadata, your tables, your columns, those attributes, and it organizes it for a specific use case. So you know who owns it, what it's intended for, what the quality standards are, what SLAs consumers can rely on. That packaging is what makes data discoverable and navigable for humans and agents alike. Instead of an agent having to interpret raw technical metadata, guess whether it's looking at the right thing, the data product tells it exactly what this data is, what it's certified for, and whether it can be trusted for the specific task at hand. That's what turns a catalog into a source of truth, and that's what makes your agents accurate. To take this a step further, we've invested in data contracts, which really certify the agreement between a data producer and a data consumer. You can create these from Collibra directly or have data engineers push them from their CLI, whether they work in GitHub, VS Code, or any other platform that they like. Now that we've built and governed our data products, how do we make them discoverable? That's where the Collibra Data Marketplace comes in. For data consumers, it's a single destination where they find data that's fit for purpose. And the same is true for your agents. Instead of trawling through raw tables, they get direct access to certified, governed data products. That's what keeps your agents grounded, accurate, and efficient. But knowing the right data exists is half the battle. Getting the right people access to it and keeping the wrong people out is where most organizations still struggle. That's the problem Collibra Data Access is designed to solve. With data access, you can provision across the modern data stack, whether it's Snowflake, BigQuery, Databricks, and more, from a single centralized interface. Rules are created and maintained with just a few clicks. Permissions can be scoped to specific physical tables, assigned to individual users or groups, without jumping between platforms. And we've brought that same simplicity to data masking as well. Traditional masking is managed separately with each cloud provider with different tools and different syntax, creating significant overhead and security risk. With Collibra, you can enforce consistent masking policies across your cloud environment simultaneously. It means fewer manual errors, no policy drift between environments, and the confidence your data stays secure no matter where it lives. So let's bring this section together with 3 clear takeaways. First, ground every AI output in truth. When an AI agent reads a data product, it's not just reading a table. It understands the business meaning, the ownership, lineage, and policies, and that's what takes AI from fast to accurate. Second, making the right data impossible to miss. The marketplace removes the friction and the guesswork. Instead of agents trawling through raw tables and trying to work out what's trustworthy, they get instant access to certified data, and it starts with the truth every time. Third, you need to deliver access without the wait. Guardrails must be enforced automatically so AI can move at speed without breaching policies or producing results no one can stand behind. Context makes AI smarter. Control makes AI safe. Data products are the way to achieve that at scale. Finally, we know for many of you, compliance remains a key concern. In a world where regulations move fast and data moves faster, hoping your governance standards are being followed isn't a strategy. It's a risk. That's why I'm excited to introduce Control Tower. Collibra's Control Tower is your automated enforcement engine. Teams can now rely on a system that continuously monitors your data ecosystem and only flags asset that deviates from standards you define. From the Control Tower landing page, you have an overview of every control in place, how compliant your ecosystem is, and see those trends over time. The concept is simple. You can turn your business logic into automated controls without a single line of code. Our no-code interface lets non-technical users set up these controls and monitor that compliance across their lines of business with just a few clicks. Every control is defined with a query that performs a multiple-step graph query to pinpoint gaps, a schedule that defines how often that control runs, and a message telling recipients exactly what to do if the control fails. That's the power of Control Tower, automating the full lifecycle from definition to remediation so your guardrails are always live, always verified, and never just documented. What this means for you. You have automated oversight at scale. What you just saw eliminates the manual work of checking thousands of assets. Control Tower does that continuously in the background against your own standards. Second, it provides closed-loop remediation. Issues are automatically detected, routed to the right owners, resolved in a workflow, and logged, so everything is traceable. Third, you don't have to wait to see the value. We have out-of-the-box templates for BCBS 239, GDPR, and AI governance, so you're never starting from a blank page. Compliance stops being a project you do once a year and starts being something that just happens automatically all the time. That's the shift that Control Tower makes. So thank you so much for your time this morning, and please stay to join us in our breakouts this afternoon to hear more.